Hello to currently non-existent audience. Welcome to the Hellish Brain Activity Podcast. This is episode 0, functioning as an intro to what we're doing and who we are. Um, I guess the easiest way to sum this up is that we all are very neurodivergent and like fiction a lot, and so we brought a bunch of fiction that we like to show each other. I've been trying to get these motherfuckers to read my piece of fiction, HPMOR, for like years. So this is a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Erin, and um, you know how I met these motherfuckers? Is through playing competitive Pokemon. We are neurodivergent as fuck. Most of us don't play anymore. I was roped into some stuff, but
Roped into isn't
anyway,
fair. You signed up. That was voluntary.
I was psyoped. I was psyoped. But
Okay.
anyway, I'm trying to get these motherfuckers to play Lisa, the Painful RPG, which I first played back in 2020, and it fucked me up. And I was like, it like changed me. Like, it's very hard to explain, but like, I'm sure when we start getting into it, like, um, it'll be like clearer, like, just how insidious this and beautiful simultaneously this game is.
Right.
Right.
All right. Robert, you want to go?
How do I introduce myself?
By introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Who you are, what you're bringing to the table, what anything else you might want to say initially.
Okay. Um, I'm Robert. I'm I'm still playing competitive Pokemon.
No.
No.
Nerd. Nerd.
You guys are lucky
And it's
that
not
we
even
didn't
like
do no soundboard.
but like the even nicher type of competitive Pokemon where you just arbitrarily change shit and hope that meta is balanced. Um, and I brought this book that I read, and it's an adaptation of a film that um probably is one of the ones that made me interested in film studies. I don't think I feel like it's not as uh when I watched the film it really meant a lot to me. Um I think I was taking a lot more than what's actually there, but nevertheless, that's what I brought.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, and I mean I do want us to like come back to everything uh after the initial introductions, but no, that's a good start. Yvonne.
Mm. So yeah, I'm going to be going through CrossCode as the work of fiction that we'll be working through. Um, it's an action JRPG um, with significant sci-fi elements and a character that I very much enjoy as the main character. Uh, she's not verbal.
I I really
Um,
like I'm sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say I really like the introduction so far to the game because if you took me from like 3 years ago and I just heard this, I would be like, she's talking about Xenoblade right now. What?
kind of is as well.
If you heard it like 8 years
I'm
ago,
just a bit nervous.
you heard it like 8 years ago, you assumed she's talking about Pokemon.
No fucking way.
Yeah, no, I guess I probably would. But yeah, I'm sorry, Yvonne. Go on.
Yeah. Hmm, hmm.
I mean, if there's nothing else you wanted to add, then that's fine.
Hmm.
All right. I guess I'll go on then. Um, so yeah, HBMOR. I didn't clarify earlier. Uh, it is its full title is Harry Potter and the Me Methods of Rationality. Um, it's a Harry Potter fan fiction. Obviously, it's not a continuation. And to make this clear, on the first episode, we all fucking hate J.K. Rowling. Complete piece of shit person. I would not endorse going and reading her books unless you're doing it in a way that is illegal, because that would be based and it wouldn't give her any money. Uh, but as much as I don't hold any fondness for J.K. Rowling nowadays, I did grow up reading Harry Potter, and I've come to realize it's a very, very flawed series. But as with all pieces of fiction that I like, I'm very engaged in the world, and like that's what I like reading about. It's why I like fan fiction so much. Um, it's just like I think these authors, without intending to, they create these very interesting like fantasy worlds where there are a lot of consequences that of the world and the way that they like present it that they don't go into because they're just like not smart enough to go into them. Like J.K. Rowling just did not think about a lot of things when she was writing these books. And it's the same thing with the other series that I read a lot of fan fiction for, which is Naruto. Like the author just did not put a lot of thought into the things he presents. But the things that are there, um, they hint at like something a lot more interesting, and fan fiction plays with that really well, in my opinion. Um, so that's why I like it so much. And with HPMOR, I read it when I was, I think, 13, maybe 12. So quite a number of years ago for me. But the reason that I brought it was that, and that I've wanted like you guys to read it for so long, is that it definitely was like a turning point for me in my life. I feel like there aren't a lot of, or I think there are a lot of spots where I can clearly define like this event happened and the Emilio that came out of it was a different Emilio. And one of the most significant ones of that was reading HPMOR, because that got me into reading a lot more of Eliezer Yudkowsky's writing, who's the author of HPMOR, and it got me a lot more into like putting a lot more thought into how I reason and how I see the world, how I see other people. Because, like, 12, 13-year-old Emilio was a shithead in terms of, like, philosophy. He was definitely, like, your stereotypical nihilist, which is just not a good person to be, both in terms of how right you are about the world and in terms of how enjoyable you are to talk to. So, HBO More did a lot of work to, like, to stop me from being that person. And I like the person I am now a lot more. And I don't think that would have happened without having read this book. So it's like I consider it foundational to the person I am, which is like something I'm kind of embarrassed to admit because it is fan fiction. But that's why I wanted you guys to read it.
Yeah.
And then so like I guess some important things to know about it beforehand are one, if you didn't see like my message, don't read any of the preamble before chapter 1. Just start at chapter 1 if you're reading the ebook. There's some mildly spoilery stuff in the preamble. It's like it doesn't really tell you anything, but it would maybe get you on some uh it would put you like on some tracks that you probably wouldn't be if you hadn't already read the preamble, you know?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um so the first thing I think you should know is that it is a mystery. It is, as a story, a puzzle to be solved, which does make it a bit unusual from most stories you've read, unless you've already read like a lot of mystery. Um, and the best way I've heard it described before is that like it's like the older Sherlock stories where because I heard this one person who said that like newer Sherlock stories, or as new as you can really get, they don't really like they're not really mystery books because it's always like, oh, Sherlock is just someone with wizard powers and he just knows shit that like no person could reasonably know or anything, you know? Or he's just like
Hmm.
this
Yeah.
trivia bot who's like, yep, he saw a speck of dust and he read 13 years ago that that can only happen under these like specific circumstances. So it's not really like narratively satisfying to read those or to like watch them in terms of the recent like Sherlock shows, but it's like the older ones in that everything that every revelation that comes about in the book is something that you could have figured out like at an earlier point before the characters do. And so when the characters figure it out, you get to see and understand like all the pieces of evidence that came before it and see how they came to the conclusion that they came to. And that's just one of the key qualities of rational fiction, which is what this is qualified
Hmm.
as, where it's like, yeah, everything that is there, um, there's nothing that the characters will know that you won't, if that makes sense. And if there
Mhm.
is, then you'll find out eventually, so you'll understand why a character did what they did. So yeah, the first thing is that HPMOR is a puzzle to be solved. I think that's what makes it really fun to read, and what's gonna make it fun for me to watch you guys read it and hear you guys talk about it. Um, because like I'm gonna get to already knowing like everything. Because this is my like fourth time reading it. I think I should have mentioned that earlier.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it gets better on rereads. Like I started reading it in preparation for this again, and there were a few things there that I didn't even catch on the other like three readings. But now that I'm looking for them to see if you guys catch it, it's very interesting. And just
Yeah.
seeing like what you guys end up like theorizing about or hypothesizing as you read, I'm really excited to see.
What if one of us solves the mystery at like chapter like 10 or something?
That would be incredible. I wouldn't tell you though. I would gaslight you the whole way.
Right.
All right.
Like my respect for your ability to mystery solve would shoot up like to tremendous amount. I would immediately claim you are the best at it that I have ever met. But I wouldn't tell you that until we were done. I would just call you insane and present like five other theories that are definitely worse and maybe not completely believable, but you know, just to throw you off. I guess that's
Well, no,
actually. Oh, sorry, go on.
I guess now I'll know when I'm on the right track.
Well, I'm gonna do that every time, actually. Like,
Hmm.
unless it's something that it's clear that you're supposed to take away, like, this specific thing, and, you know, you landed on it, and it's not really integral to the mystery, then I won't. But if it is, no matter what, whether you're right or wrong, I'm just gonna gaslight the fuck out of you. Because I can't let you know. That
Oh
ruins the
yeah.
whole point. That ruins everything from there on.
Uh-huh.
But you actually did remind me of something. I guess a good second point is that, there isn't just one mystery to be solved in this. Um, technically, there is like one huge overarching one that obviously I'm
Hmm.
not gonna tell you what it is, because once you realize what it is, it recontextualizes the rest of the book. But there are a lot of like smaller mysteries here and there, a lot of smaller puzzles that are that are there for you to figure out. Um,
Hmm.
like, I would say there isn't like a single character that isn't written in such a way where there is something metatextual that you're supposed to like realize about them eventually, and once you do, it can recontextualize a lot of the story.
Huh. A big overarching mystery that recontextualizes the entire story. Hmm. Okay, just a wild guess. Is it all revealed to be a dream at the end?
No, I will go. I'm fine with
Darn it.
confirming that it's not.
Darn it. I can't believe it.
Damn.
That always works.
Ash was the whole time.
What was that?
Ash was in a coma for the whole time.
Oh man. God, I fucking hate that theory. It's so fucking lazy. The guy or
It's so stupid. You can't help but love it.
whoever wrote that thought they were so fucking smart, but it's so dumb. It's so easy. It's literally like a wizard did it, but for every possible story ever. Gee, there sure are some inconsistencies in in this children's show. Oh, he's fucking making it up. Like maybe it's a kids show.
I think it's because the person who wrote that, like, it's like some big cope, like, because they're also in a coma and they want to find some way to relate to their favorite children's show character.
You know, somehow I don't see that being true.
Darn it.
But yeah, okay. So the second thing, second thing I think is important to know about HP Memoir before you start reading it is that there are a lot of things that are intended to be lessons. Obviously, like the writer had something he was trying to get across, and it was that it was like the methods of rationality, as is said in the title. However, it's important to recognize that um, characters are not necessarily like a mouthpiece for the author. Not everything any main character says is something that you're supposed to take at face value or like just trust in. Um, and so, if at any point, like even the main character, if not everything he thinks, not every conclusion he comes to is the correct one. Like this is very much a character that makes mistakes, and you're not supposed to like see his thought processes and be like, oh, this must be exactly what the author thinks and what the author thinks we should think, you know?
Mhm.
In addition, the author does say that some advice offered by darker characters may be untrustworthy or dangerously double-edged. That is slightly spoilery, but it's worth keeping in mind in the same vein as like, not everything the protagonist does is a lesson of wisdom. Um, and then I guess the final thing to that I think is like, or no, two other things. First thing is that the pacing is that of like serial fiction. It's kind of like a long show with like multiple seasons. So, you're
Mhm.
not seeing like literally every day of this motherfucker's life because that would be boring as hell. Um, but like, n I think that's important to know because sometimes it seems like a story arc kind of like comes out of nowhere and doesn't really lead into anything. That's just a product of the place or of the pacing, and individual story arcs make a lot more sense. Or like, how do I put this? I guess it's like have faith in that the author knows what they're doing. So
Okay.
if something doesn't make sense, expect that it will make sense eventually. And then if it doesn't, then you can complain about it, Then you're right to complain about it. Um, but yeah,
That
like
sounds like that sounds like trusting the power of some sort of higher being.
Oh my god.
you know, I know you're making a joke, but like yeah, it kind of is because in this story, like he is the higher being. You're just some pleb who's getting to see it.
Right.
He is
Ooh.
master of the universe
Ooh.
that exists here.
I could beat him in a magic off 1v1.
I don't. Okay. I
I
don't know what
could
to say
probably beat him. I
I
could
know the
probably beat
bait.
him in more balanced commands.
then. You
I
don't
could
know.
beat his ass.
What if
Probability of A or B equals probability of A, well, whatever, however it goes, you
you
know.
don't? You're not even reciting Bayes correctly. I can't believe this.
Yes, I am.
You are not. I can't recite it off the top of my head either, but at least I know enough to know that. Um, so yeah, like trust the author. If a story arc seems kind of like out of nowhere, it is part of the pacing, and it will almost definitely make sense later. Obviously, I don't remember if everything always comes together and makes sense at the end. Um, but but yeah, that's something. And I forgot what the last. Oh yeah, last thing, the protagonist. Related to not everything he does is a lesson of wisdom. At the beginning, he is kind of supposed to be a dick. If you read it and you're like, wow, this guy's a dick, that's intended. I've had some people read it and immediately come to that conclusion, and because it's fan fiction, they just assume like, oh, the author doesn't know how to write a non-dick protagonist or something, and it's like, no, that's he's supposed to be. Don't let that be a red flag to you.
At the end of the story, does he become some like proper man and people call him like Mr. Potter? Mr. Potter, would you like some tea? And he'd be like, yes, Dobby, bring me some
I'm
tea.
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, that I must be right then.
Yeah, no. So what actually happens is he becomes God King of Britain, and then he sets out for world domination.
Oh yeah,
But like a phoenix kills him. That's what happens.
average British man.
Very true. Oh, do you think that was unintentional subtext in the originals? It's like, yeah, the big surprise that both of the would-be world dictators came from Britain, because it was Grindelwald and Voldemort who wanted to go and take everything everywhere. They were both Brit. Oh wait, no, I think Grindelwald was like Romanian or something. Fuck, I don't remember.
What?
I thought everyone was British because it was in Britain.
Well,
I
it's
thought
like
it was American.
no, it's like it's implied that like Grindelwald and Dumbledore went to Durmstrang, or one of them, or Grindelwald went to Durmstrang. It might have been both, but definitely Grindelwald did. And
I
like,
don't even know who that is.
oh, I forgot. Okay, how many of you have like read Harry Potter at all?
I did when I was like 12.
All right,
I read I read the first half of the first book
all right.
I have not
when
read
I was 12.
any of the books.
You have okay. Have any of you like seen any of the movies?
I've seen all the movies.
I've seen all of them except for Deathly Hallows Part 2 and like a good few of Deathly Hallows Part 1 because Deathly Hallows Part 1 was boring as fuck.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 is a very boring movie. That is correct.
I saw the movies.
All right. Well, okay. It's not really relevant. I don't think you need to know all that much going into this. It works very well on its own, but like I guess if you do have any questions related to how something relates to canon, I'm your canon encyclopedia, because like when I was listening to other people talk about this, they would consistently get things wrong, and I'm like, I knew that, and I didn't have to look it up because I'm just a fucking nerd.
Right.
Um, so Grindelwald is like, so he's like literally Wizard Hitler, because like people joke that Voldemort
What?
was Wizard Hitler, but like Grindelwald came into power during World War II. He was this other like big dark wizard. He wanted to take over he wanted to like reveal wizards to the rest of humanity, and then subjugate everyone who wasn't a wizard because he was really afraid of nukes.
Uh,
So that's his
Right.
storyline. But yeah, no, I'm pretty
the-
sure he went to like Durmstrang, which is some other school, and there are some Romanian students who go there, but no one like knows where it is really in canon. So I don't remember if Grindelwald is British or not. I don't know. But anyway, my point is that, both of the big baddies who wanted to take over the world, they came from Britain. They based their power there in Harry Potter. But J.K. Rowling's too stupid to have ever made that point intentionally. So yeah, that is all the preamble I think you need for HPMOR.
okay.
All right, who wants to go next?
Um, pick one of us.
Yeah, I was about to. Erin, your turn.
Fine. All right. So Emilio was just out here like fucking. I don't stand with J.K. Rowling. My guy Eliezer. He would do no wrong, and all of his characters are, some of them are like evil, but like that's for like a reason. Lisa is not that. Lisa is problematic as fuck. And like there's some shit that happens that like make you like it would make you raise your eyebrow if it was in any other game or any other piece of media. But in Lisa, it's just par for the course because like everything is just in the world is like so, it just sucks so bad, and like I it's not designed to be offensive to any like groups. To be clear, like it's just generally designed to like inspire a feeling of malaise among the player base
I see.
and discomfort. Um,
Yeah,
like
I was.
it makes you not want to be there.
Yeah, no. When you posted about it, I went on the Steam page and then I scrolled down to like the content warnings and I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Because I was worried about like there's this one particular line in the early chapters of HP Moir which gets a lot of flack and I think somewhat rightly so because it's really like fucking out of nowhere and kind of what the fuck. And then I read the content warnings for Lisa and I was like, oh, I'll be fine. We'll be fine. Like this sounds so much worse.
Yeah, I hated an HPMR when Harry tells Hermione, "Oh, you can't be a wizard. You're a girl."
Wow, I can't believe you read ahead.
But yeah, Lisa's like it. The thing about it is, it's just a really fucking funny game. Also, like
Really?
yeah, it inspired a lot of my sense of humor. Like there are a lot of like timeless bits in it that like you just never forget those. Like I'm sure we'll like they're throughout the story, and like some of them are like absurd, some of them are like just depressing, some of them are just like, why is this in the game? They're all funny though. Like they all like the game manages to make humor work in like the most depressing setting without. This is the important part. Like without forgetting about where it is. Like
Does this include the KYS bit?
what?
I think Anaconda's asking because you said it inspires a lot of your humor, and I had the same thought where it seems like nowadays a lot of your humor is just telling all of us to keep ourselves safe. So I think Anaconda's
um,
asking if that also came from Lisa.
I minor spoiler. No one tells each other to kill themselves, except in the fan games. There are many instances of people telling people to kill themselves in fan games.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, call him Robert.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot. I'm so used to calling him not that. This is another positive of doing this. I will actually get used to calling everyone by their first name and everyone calling me by their first name. Because yeah, as Erin said earlier, we fucking known each other for like 6 years, I think, at this point, or maybe coming up 5. I don't remember exactly.
It would be coming up to 6.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
It'd be a long enough time for two of us to transition.
yeah.
True. Long enough time for me to have gone through all of high school and my first year of college. Actually, wait, shit. I think I met you guys when I was in middle school. Like, I think it was literally 7th grade.
Damn. When
Yeah.
you're like 14.
Yeah, either that or 13. One of the two.
Yeah. It's so wild.
But yeah, my point was that I'm just very used to calling everyone by their
No,
tags.
Yvonne's gone. Oh, she's back.
She's back. Let's go.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Uh, okay, I think that's gonna be an ongoing thing. But yeah, so Erin, it's really funny that you like framed it that way as a source of a lot of your humor. Because now I'm gonna be going when I'm playing, I'm gonna be just looking like, oh yeah, this is a joke Erin would make. This is a you
Yeah.
joke. But I mean, like, I think that's fun. I think that's one of the great parts of like playing or experiencing anything that was a big part of like who someone is, because then you can go through and be like,
Uh-huh.
oh, that's how that came about, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Again, we're so back. But yeah, I don't want to like go like too far in on the explanation front because like I feel like this is the kind of game where it is best in a lot of ways to just jump in, like, and a big part of the experience is being in like this disorienting world where like you don't know what the mechanics are, how you're supposed to play the game, or like what you could expect from the world, that sort of thing. Um,
I agree.
mhm. Okay, I will say one thing that like probably like doesn't give anything away and like is so there's this drug in the game called joy. It's like it's present throughout the
Wow,
game.
I wonder what that could be a metaphor for.
It's a metaphor for drugs. It's a drug.
Gee, I
No
wonder what they're
fucking
trying to
way.
say.
But like the thing
Drugs give
is,
you joy. You should take more of them.
This game is pro-drug. That's kind of awesome.
but like you see this in the intro to the game where the main character is the guy you play as is struggling with being addicted to joy. So like he's like trying to quit it, but like at the same time, like in the game, like there are some pretty hard fights, and you always have like some joy in your inventory, and if you take it, like it gives you a pretty big advantage. Like it gives you like a good boost to help you like take on that fight. So it's a question of like which way do you go? Like do you if you take the joy, will there be bad consequences? If you don't take the joy, you will have to deal with joy withdrawal, which does the opposite and negatively impact your stats, and you do like almost no damage.
I think either I've heard of a very, very, very similar mechanic in a different game, or you've talked about this before, or I was watching some YouTube video where someone happened to have talked about it and mentioned this specific mechanic because it sounds very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But
But yeah, like it's your choice. I mean, like this game is often compared to Undertale, but like Undertale is like about making choices. This game Lisa
Undertale.
does not give you very many choices.
To be
Um,
fair, if I think if you really want to be pedantic about it, or Undertale really only gives you three.
no, you can do like a whole bunch of stuff in Undertale. You can like talk to people. You can like um. Also, there's all the neutral endings.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it was like if you're being really pedantic, because like a lot changes through like character interactions depending on
Mm-hmm.
about the choices you make. Like I till this day sometimes in my recommended I'll get a video where it's like, oh, what happens if you kill this guy and then spare this guy and then talk to this guy? But
Mm-hmm.
like if you're really being pedantic about it, you're like, well, you either kill everyone or you kill some people or you don't kill anyone. Because if you're being pedantic about it, all the neutral endings are basically the same, right?
These are the three political policies that you can have as president of the United States. You can kill everyone, you can kill some people, or you can kill nobody at all.
What kind of
No
president?
fucking
What kind
way.
of president would you be?
Um, I think I would kill everybody.
I see. Interesting strategy. I'm not sure if you'll get voted in on that policy.
Well, there'll
I,
be
But you know what? If you convince all the conservatives that you'll kill them in a more kind way, they'll vote for you. They'll vote for you.
I'm tapping into the innate death drive
There is
of
no
the
what?
American. Haven't you ever? Come on, Sigmund Freud death drive. Google that right now.
Google that. Okay, hold on. There's no way. Sigmund Freud says a lot of weird shit.
Yeah. Are you gonna cry about it?
I think I think we shouldn't take him seriously. As someone who is studying psychology, I don't think Sigmund Freud should be taken seriously.
Well, if Sigmund Freud really shouldn't be taken seriously, then explain this. When we had the HBA Craft Minecraft server, and we had keep inventory off, intentional we had keep inventory was on. Let me correcting myself. Intentional suicide was a common method of escaping a distant or uncomfortable area with the goal of getting back to a safer place. Now, would it not make sense that a similar principle could possibly be applied in reality?
No, it wouldn't, because you die and then that's it. In Minecraft, we just like, oh, I guess I'm gonna jump off this bridge because that'll take me back home, and then I can go back to that bridge if I want to later.
Still, the meaning of jumping off the bridge cannot be overlooked in this analogy.
There isn't a meaning
Like
though. It's pure
the
utility.
sensation.
Pure utility.
Did you know that in Minecraft you can see the view from halfway off of the bridge? You can look around and you can wonder what would have happened to your life if things hadn't turned out the way that they did.
Mhm.
What are you even going on about at this point? Okay, I just googled death drive. A tendency towards self-destruction, or more precisely, the elimination of tension, which can also be turned outwards, whereby it becomes aggression. Okay.
Mhm.
Did you know that in Minecraft, you can feel the lava melting your skin and your flesh, and you can like kind of like feel yourself halfway in between life and death. Do you ever think about that?
No.
You know that in Minecraft you can download the sex mod where you can have naked bodies and have sex with them?
you were so fucking right, Aaron.
Thank you.
We were but like 3-4 days ago, whenever we were in call, and I asked Erin, I was like, who do you think is gonna be the first one to say some crazy shit, and what do you think it'll be? And Erin just said, I don't even remember what she said, but she said it'd be you, Robert, and that it would be a sex joke. That you she said that you would say Harry Potter and the Methods of Sexuality.
That's a good joke. I should have made that joke.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm kind of sad that you didn't now.
Fucking Harry Potter and the Messes of Sexuality.
Yeah,
God damn it.
he just finds out that he's bi. That's the whole story. He meets
He was
this
so real for
he meets
Like,
this
where's the
teacher.
story? Yeah.
He meets this teacher, and it's a guy teacher, and he's just like, "Whoa, hold on," and that's the plot of the story.
the teacher. Whoa, you're kind of telling on yourself there. You're kind of projecting there.
What do you mean? I didn't write this.
What?
What?
Mhm.
All right, but was that all you wanted to say about Lisa?
Before this call, I was like, I'm wondering, we don't have any dedicated subject matter, and we're have enough stuff to talk about to fill the time up. I do not have that concern anymore. But yeah, I might have said more about myself than about Lisa there, but I think I think I showed the effect Eliezer had on me. I'll just say that much.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I didn't know that you had played it so long ago, though. I thought you had played it more recently for some reason.
I visited revisited it recently,
I see.
and some of the few games too.
You're cutting out a bit, by the way.
All right, Robert, you're next. Okay.
Yeah, tell us about the Garden of Words and all that.
I am thinking about talk about without talking about the actual content of it.
All right. I mean, it's from what I understand, it's kind of a short book. So if there isn't really anything like you think we need to know or you want us to know going into it, then that's understandable. Because for HPMOR, it's like this massive thing, and I don't know how long Lisa is, but like Erin said, she goes back to it every so often. So at least for her, it's a big thing.
Yeah, there isn't really that much you need to know.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I'm gonna ask some questions about it. but it's not like anything that's really revealing to the story.
Okay.
Are there real places?
Yes.
Damn
They're
it.
all
Okay.
what? Okay.
Nothing. All right.
Okay, let me ask a question. Does anyone get called a baka in this book?
No, I don't think so.
I did start reading it. I think our main character is Japanese. I'm not sure.
Imagine if she was like named like fucking like the same as like the protagonist in the Lance book, fucking Hiro Sakura.
Oh, I forgot about the Lance book. How the fuck did you remember that shit? Oh my god.
What is that?
uh, I think Lance wrote this like super fucking long Pokemon fanfic. I don't even, but it's like a crossover fic too, I think. I don't even remember what it's crossed over with. But like I remember reading a segment of it and it was just some of the worst writing I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that just because I hate that motherfucker. It was just like very unskilled writing.
Right.
And I've read a lot of bad fan fiction. You have to wade through a lot of shit to get to the good fan fiction. And that was definitely some bad fan fiction.
Right.
Yeah, no, Erin just like triggered a fucking memory within me about that shit. Oh my god. Well, all right. Yvonne, is there anything you wanted to say about
Uh,
CrossCode?
yeah. So the main sort of goal about CrossCode is that you're working with this girl by the name of Leah. She's yeah, she's both non-verbal and has several dream sequences throughout the game that are excellent. That basically mark her progress through the game. You'll learn that later on in the story, these dreams are attached to somebody that she is very closely related to. And in effect, your goal is to find this person.
I see.
The characters involved, they're all relatively diverse for such a um, for such a story, and you'll particularly have fun with a few of them, like Apollo and Emily.
I see.
Yeah, the
Mm.
full disclosure, I've played CrossCode. Yeah, Apollo and Emilio are just very fun characters.
Gah, no, you've played the property. Gah.
Get owned, get
Sorry.
obliterated.
I begged Erin to play this game for so long.
Hmm.
If it didn't mean so much to you, then I would have made you choose something else. Just because Erin has played it, I would have just been
Yeah.
like, no, it has to be new to everyone.
I would have had a hard time then.
Yeah, no.
I would have had a really
No,
hard time.
don't you see it? The
Mm.
entire reason it means so much to her is it's because it's something she's also shared with me.
Yeah, whatever.
You're a nerd. You wouldn't understand.
That's just not true. Part of that is not true. All right. I just want to know, are like either Lisa or Crosscode hard? Because both of you gave estimates of like 2.5 hours for the first chunks we're gonna do. But if they're difficult games, then I predict I will have to take much longer. Especially because I don't think I've ever played, like you said, CrossCode is an action RPG.
Hmm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't think
For
I've ever played one of those.
you don't need to
Mm.
be familiar with the genre, I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
it kind of comes to you pretty easily.
okay. You know what it might be? It might be because whenever I imagine like uh an action RPG, what I'm actually imagining is like a 3D hack and slash.
It really is just like a beat 'em up with stats. I have to say that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds easy enough.
Yeah, yeah. It really is.
All right.
I, I will say CrossCode has some. I've told Emilio CrossCode has some hard moments. Like sometimes you're just stuck in like this room or at this boss, and you're like, this is some bullshit. But CrossCode's fair. With Lisa, the difficulty I would say comes more from like
Trying not to
just
do drugs.
let's that and more like some um there's like an intended I guess order to do the things like if you're not strong enough then you'll get like owned by this one fight and you need to like explore around other places to find it to find like experience or guys that'll help you.
I
So I
see.
guess like that's like one of the things you'll have to be familiar with. But like the game mechanics are pretty simple.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that sounds like any game, honestly. Like getting fucked up by a boss because you're not strong enough, and then having to go get shit to get strong enough seems pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Robert, is the Garden of Words a hard book?
No.
Yeah, no, I figured. I saw the length. I was surprised that it's so short. But I guess it's probably for the best considering how fucking massive of a project HPMOR is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for context for listeners, HPMOR is 660,000 words, and we're doing 2,000 word chunks, or we're aiming for that, like, every time we're gonna talk about it. Just because if we did like 10,000 words, it would take like 2.5 years to finish the book. So, like, that would be completely unreasonable. And then Garden of Words, I don't know the word count, but the page count seemed to be like 267, something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
So yeah, much shorter, uh, much easier to get through, less of a daunting task, thankfully.
It's like 2,000 words per page. That's why they call it the Garden of Words.
Oh no, that's not good. All right, is there anything you guys wanted to ask about HPMOR before you hop into it?
Is Harry Potter gay in this?
I don't know if I'm allowed to
Like,
answer
does he
that
get
one.
into a relationship with? Does he get into a relationship with Draco Malfoy?
No.
Okay, I am allowed to answer this question, I've decided. He is 11.
11.
That is my
11.
that is my answer. He is 11. Anything else?
Um,
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna keep talking about that. I really dislike how many like Draco Harry fics there are in general. Cause you know what? I've had this opinion for a while. I've never had like a place to really share it. A lot of my problems with a lot of like yaoi slash yuri fanfic is that it's written by straight people and you can tell, and it's always so forced. I've read like three different instances of a story with any intentional like LGBT rep that were good because every single other one is written like dog shit, and that's why it's like I read recently someone was talking about how like, oh, the reason mpreg sucks in fiction is because it's straight women who just really want to see hot guys fuck, but because they're straight, they're forcing like heteronormativity onto the gay relationship, and that's why of course one of the guys has to get pregnant. How else would they have kids? It's really annoying that it's so common when it's done so badly all the time because it's just horny straight teenagers. And the same thing applies for Yuri, but like, Yuri's just way less common in fan fiction.
I just didn't really know how to respond to that.
That's fair. It was an unhinged rant.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of those in this.
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point. Really, this only happened because I needed a platform to say shit on that wasn't my Twitter. You guys are just here for like as set pieces, you know?
Okay.
hate yaoi. I hate when people have fun. Ah.
That is not what I said.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I said that a lot of these motherfuckers can't write, and I wish they would stop.
I can't write, and no one wishes I would stop.
That's because you haven't written. If I read some like completely unhinged fiction from you, I would be like, you should take more time making your next thing, I think. All right. Yvonne or Robert, do you guys have any questions about HPMOR before hopping into it?
Uh,
If you didn't catch that, Yvonne, I was asking if you had any questions.
uh, I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a lot more once we get to it, which I think we're doing what next Wednesday or Wednesday after that, I think. One of the two.
All right.
And then yeah, Yvonne, I mean if she is having connectivity issues because she is cursed by England, as all
Pretty,
British people are, of course.
pretty average stuff.
Exactly. Extremely average.
Average.
Let's see, is there anything else that I felt like I needed to mention about HMR? Because I think in terms of like preamble shit, I think that's everything. For me at least.
Mhm.
So like in Lisa, when you take joy, are there characters that are like, "Gah, no, you're becoming happy artificially." Gah.
No,
Oh, really? Because that sounds like something that would happen.
it is not something that happens. You, there are characters that encourage you to take joy.
Gee, I wonder what that could mean. I'm
Obviously,
sorry.
the message of the game is to take drugs.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it sounded
yeah,
like.
pretty much.
Which I guess two of you like already are. I just have to find a drug that I want to take, I guess. What if I decided that I hate having hair, so I just started taking tea?
What?
Yeah,
You
Tea?
already are.
if you have if you have too much testosterone, you go bald more quickly. That's why H Bomber guy is bald.
That's only dihydrotestosterone.
What the fuck? I was lied to? This is so
Yeah,
Yeah,
confusing.
like.
turns out there's several testosterone.
Well, I knew
Mhm.
that. I thought it was just like the generic one that you could have too much of and that would make you go bald.
Yeah, it's only DHT that causes hair loss, I think.
Incredible. You know, I forgot to mention this earlier. I really hope that a different opportunity for something like this comes up in the future because then I can force everyone to play Celeste. I didn't do it this time, but I will eventually. That's the plan.
I'm going to watch a playthrough on YouTube, but like while playing some like other game or something, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that platforming section near the end was like really difficult. It took me like 10 tries."
I hate you.
It's
It's so deeply I cannot even describe. My sister came out and immediately started playing. What's wrong with you?
um
Yeah,
um
average.
a lot of things if you want to be like clinical.
If I want to be clinical.
She's so gay.
I'm very gay.
Yeah, crazy how that happens. All right, well, I think for unless there's anything else you guys wanted to touch on, I think for this episode, that's pretty much it.
Okay, hold on. Um does does Voldemort get into a relationship with Professor McGonagall?
No,
You
no.
gotta be kidding me,
There
dude.
are there are no relationships. It is not a
You,
shipping
you
thing.
gotta be you gotta be kidding me, dude.
You seem oddly invested in these two very old people fucking.
I don't care if they fuck. I want them to whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears.
Okay, you were still oddly invested in that
Wait,
happening.
Voldemort doesn't have ears.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's a nose that he doesn't have. My bad.
No, he doesn't have either. No, I'm kidding. He
Okay.
has ears. Yeah, Voldemort actually canonically does not have a penis. Rowling did tweet that out a few years ago.
What the fuck?
Really?
No, I'm making that up.
And that's Dumbledore. What the heck?
No, I said Voldemort. But yeah, no, of course I'm making that up. That'd be an insane thing for her to tweet. Especially
Voldemort
because
was on that serpent gender reassignment surgery grind years ago.
serpent gender reassignment. That sounds awful.
Sounds fucking fantastic.
Why would I want to be a serpent?
You wouldn't
I
understand
would-
unless you were a trans girl. So many T-girls want to
No, I thought
be serpents.
you guys wanted to
No,
be
no.
dogs.
No?
Really? Because all I see on my timeline is tweets from trans femmes talking about how they got that puppy girl in them.
They got that dog in them. Hopefully not literally.
A lot of them are white. I always have to raise my eyebrow at those.
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, I think we can wrap it up. I mean, obviously we can still stay on call because
Mhm.
I'm at least free until like around 3-ish. But as for episode 0, I think that's it. Unless anyone has anything else they wanted to add.
Follow me on Twitter at cityposting.
Yeah, maybe do
Yeah.
that. In the description, I'll have like our socials and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well then, yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us for episode 0. You have
You,
gotten
the viewer, are gay. You are gay.
yes. Yeah.
All
Sorry.
finance bros should die.
I'm really sorry if you have a significant other and you had to find out this way, but you are gay.
You are gay.
Yeah, we're gonna be back, or I don't know when this will be uploaded. Probably tomorrow, but we'll be recording Friday to do episode 1 proper, where we'll be reading chapters 1 and 2 of the Garden of Words and talking about that. So that will be fun. The schedule that we have planned at the moment is we're gonna do one of the books, one of the games, and then the other book and the other game. We have not yet decided which game we're doing second, which I guess I can force you guys to decide right now because if you say it on air, it is a commitment.
Right.
Are we doing Lisa or CrossCode? Decide.
We get this.
I'm telling you to decide right now, or I will.
You
Please vote for
decide.
Lisa.
All right,
Okay.
I heard Lisa. So yeah, Friday we will be recording episode 1, which will be about the Garden of Words. Next Wednesday we'll be recording episode 2, and that will be about Lisa. And then after that, we will do HPMOR on Friday and CrossCode.
And then a loop. Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Yvonne.
sorry, wrong order. We're
You
doing
forgot about Yvonne.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. We're doing CrossCode next Friday, and then the Wednesday after that be doing HPMOR. Basically, schedule is that hopefully we'll have these out on Thursdays and Saturdays, and they'll be coming out every single one of those. If we're late a day, it's because I do have a life, so my bad.
Right.
All right, well, anyone who's stuck around, thanks for listening. Hope you continue to do so. To the 2 people that I have already said I will be sending links to incessantly, thank you for following through on your obligation to me as my friend. And we will see you next time.
Use promo code FREETELLA for 10%.
There's a bomb in your car.